Hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. How you doing? European things Americans find weird. Ooh. What kind of weird things are you guys doing over there? I'll be the judge. I'm an American. I'll decide what's weird and what's not. If you see me make this face, then you know it was weird. That's my weird face. The Barbara Horvat. Why could I not read that? Like, just sound it out, dude. The Barbara Horvat. Check her channel out, link down below. Let's see what her list is. React to it.
What's up, Internet? I'm here to make a sequel to my American problems that Europeans don't understand. This
Oh, now I'm interested in that video.
is by far one of my most successful videos on this channel, and yay for that.
And look, that one had 90,000 views. This one has 280,000 views. Damn.
And I already said in that video that I'm gonna make a sequel and reverse things what Americans find weird about Europe. And if you disagree with anything that I'm about to read, that's okay. I understand that not all people are the same.
What?
And America is
People are allowed to disagree?
huge, okay? I know it's larger. And Europe is also larger. Mind you, I'm gonna speak for Slovenians here.
Sometimes people do seem to forget that on the internet. You are allowed to have a different opinion, and you don't have to, you don't have to try to convince every single person. I'm guilty of this sometimes. Yeah.
Here, so don't take this video
But you don't have to try to convince every single other person. It's impossible, turns out.
as a campaign for America versus Europe, okay? We're all just here for laughter. Europeans eat pizza with a fork and knife.
Is that true? Do you really do that? Why? Do Italians do that? I'm having a hard time believing it. I'll see it. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yes, that is true. That is true. If you're out in a restaurant, most of the people eat pizza.
But it's got like a crust. And it's been cut into a slice ergonomically perfect for the human hand to cradle.
With fork and knife. Usually I tend to do.
Are they not cut in Europe? I mean, if you eat it with a fork and knife, is that thing... Yeah, I think it's cut.
Usually I tend to do that too, just to kind of look a little classier. But then after a few slices, I just give up and I just grab that thing, and when it's not as hot anymore, and just like shove it in my face. But that's true. Also, another thing that people looked at me really suspiciously when I was in
That is very posh of you guys.
America and I ordered a slice of pizza, I would ask for ketchup. And they would just be like, why do you need that?
You know, it's a little bit odd that anyone would make that face, because those weird people do exist over here in America too. Like, probably 1 out of 7 people over here in America does eat pizza with ketchup, which I think is weird.
Also, we only have tomato sauce. Because in Slovenia, for example, if you go to a pizza place or you get a slice of pizza, you always have ketchup or mayo on the counter for you to grab and just like, spray ketchup and mayo over it.
I just have an aversion to ketchup and mayo. So to be honest, this kind of makes me queasy looking at this.
Your slice of pizza.
I don't like
and that freaks out a lot of people in America. They're like, oh,
regardless of what it's on. That's kind of funny, because that seems like something Americans would do. Does it not? Like, put ketchup and mayo all over their pizza? It's kind of ironic that y'all are the ones doing that. You weirdos.
Oh my god, what's happening? To-go bags boxes for food aren't available. When I first moved to America, I was baffled that groceries are being packed by other people in the supermarket.
What? Okay, she misunderstood it for bags in grocery stores? Well, I didn't misunderstand it. You're telling me you can't take your food to go if you don't finish it all? Is that a thing over here in America because the portions are so gigantic? I mean, to be honest, the portions aren't. I'd be finishing my meal 99 times out of 100. But my wife finishes her meal 1 times out of 100. So we always get a to-go box for her. Usually. You guys don't have that? Why not? It seems like a good idea to not waste food, but then again, I guess on one hand, you're not wasting the food, but you are, using this like plastic container, which is wasteful to the environment. You can't win.
Boxes for food aren't available. When I first moved to America, I was baffled that groceries are being packed by other people in the supermarket. When I'm at the register, I was like, no, it's fine, I got it. And then the person who was standing there was like, no, that's literally my job. Like, that's why I'm standing here. And I was like, but I can do it myself.
I'm a sucker for this filter. Like, I just think it's funny. And what she's saying is funny. Like, but the filter really takes it to the next level for me. That's peak comedy. I don't know what to say about that. Yeah, they will usually pack your bags, except now, what's it called? Self-checkout is super common over here, so you'll be packing your own bags. They figured out a way to put that job back onto us. So, yeah, it's kind of half and half now.
Myself. But in Slovenia, it's been a thing for a long time that you can either grab a large shopping bag at the front of the register and then pay for it, or you usually just carried it with you. Usually Europeans...
A lot of times I don't take a bag, and I'm a little bit unusual for that. And to be honest, it's not for the environment. I'm just being honest, because that's the truth. I do care about the environment. I do. But that's not why I don't take a bag. I just don't want the bag. Like, it's just trash. It's just an annoyance to me. I just get my stuff. I put my receipt on top of it so people don't try to stop me when I'm walking out the door. Usually I'm not buying that much stuff. So, my 2 or 3 things, I just pick it up and walk out. And it happens to be good for the environment, which is... In fact, I changed my mind. I'm doing it for the environment. That's exactly why I do it.
At least Slovenians, we have a lot of these.
We have those too, but it was actually really trendy for I don't know what it was, what happened in maybe 2006. But over here in America, all of a sudden it was like, no more bags, guys. You got to buy your own reusable bag. You're going to come back to the store with the reusable bag. We're saving the environment. And it was a big hoorah, a big push, and it didn't work.
Kinds of shopping bags, and then you get a large one, a very large one if you go shop for home stuff like lamps and whatever you can fit in here. Basically, each store makes their own with their own logos, and then sometimes if you're feeling funky, you get a really nice one, so you feel special. Or this one is also very pretty, but it has have a nice day written on.
I wonder why they're all made out of that fabric, because they are here too in America, that crunchy fabric. I guess that's just a really cheap tarp-like material that's reusable. Do you know what I mean though? Why? I'm surprised they don't make actually nice bags. I'm sure they do, actually, now that I say that. I know people have the carts in Europe. But they do sell those at the register as well here. Some people use them. Some people, not a lot.
And then if you're just going shopping for small things, you just small groceries, you just take this thing. And now in pretty much every grocery store, you can also buy the little bags that are reusable for veggies and fruits. Casual drinking, just being out in public with visible booze and consuming doesn't happen in America. That is very true. That's what
This is mildly confusing to me. What do they mean? This casual drinking, being out in public with visible booze, doesn't happen in America. I mean, it definitely does, depending on what city and state you're in. Some places it's legal, some places it's not. I guess that's just, America's such a large country. I guess it's hard to make one blanket statement like this when there's so many different laws around America. It's kind of like saying something about all of Europe. Like all of Europe has, nobody drinks or something like that. It's like, how are you going to say something about Ireland and pretend it applies to Italy or something, But yeah, there's for sure people out drinking. Like it does happen in America, but it does not happen in every state. That's true. Some states it's illegal.
booze and consuming doesn't happen in America. That is very true. That's what I missed a lot when I lived in the States. Just the fact that you can go buy, a six-pack of beer, especially those of us who went to school in the capital city, you have this thing called the beach. So Plaja, which is around the Ljubljanica River, which was the most common place to go out drinking. Everybody usually just had their own bottle of...
I freaking 100% agree. It's total bullcrap. Those places where you can't drink in public, bullcrap. We should be revolting. I'm not joking. It's ridiculous. I'm a grown-ass man. I should be able to have a beer by the river. Absolutely agree. I guess the people living in those states don't agree, or they would be electing people who would abolish that law. I guess.
Wine that they would casually sip on throughout the rest of the...
I think that's slowly changing, though. I think that's the vibe I get. I think it's slowly, those states where it's illegal, becoming more legal.
Evening, and we would just do that. We would hang out and play games, or in the summer we would bring guitars and tambourines and other...
Oh, and to be clear, people still do it. People do, like me, for instance. I don't care if the law says I'm not supposed to do it. I will still bring a beer and drink in public, like at a place like this. Bring a cooler. And if no one's ever stopped me. And to be honest, if you were caught by the police or something, it would almost for sure just be a warning. Like, hey, you can't do that. But that's never happened to me, so I'm going to keep doing it.
Instruments and just like sing and stuff like that. And it would be a lot cheaper than going to a bar. And I miss that a lot in America. Someone also said on Quora that people calling America America is strange. This one really shocked me. Before going to Europe, I would only reference the United States as the United States.
Absolutely. I've learned that with my YouTube titles. I refer to the US as America because I've learned that's what Europeans say, which was really strange to me, to be honest. Because I think of America, honestly, when you say America, I think of North America and South America. It's okay, America, Canada, Mexico, US, and then all South America. If you're talking about the United States of America, I say the USA or the United States. That's what people here say, the US. The USA, or USA. I have learned that Europeans typically refer to it as just America.
In Europe, if I said I was from the United States, people often didn't understand. It was only...
Really? Now that's surprising to me. I didn't know it was that deep.
Till I said America that the light bulb went on. What? What kind of people were you talking
Oh, okay, it's not true.
to? How does nobody? That is something.
America.
You know what she's feeling right now? That reaction right there, I've had it myself a million times, reacting to these videos about stupid Americans, and I'm like, what? Like, I know there are some stupid Americans, but who are these people that would say something that stupid? That's how she's feeling right now. Like, what? We know what the U.S. is, like the United States.
That is not true. I think it has to do something with the language barrier here,
America.
because a lot of languages, when you translate United States of America, it just sounds weird to say.
This
For
is
example, in
America.
Slovenian we say Združene države Amerike. So United States would be Združene države. And it just sounds weird to say Združene države. You're going to Združene države? No, you say you're going to America.
America.
So people just call it America. I think that's where this comes from. Still odd. Still can't believe that happened. The next one is commenting on our tap water. Spent a summer in Germany. They had the cleanest, safest, best tasting tap water, but nobody
What?
drank it and they called it toilet water. So that's
Toilet water? I mean, I guess it is toilet water. Like, it's the same water that goes in your toilet. Same with over here in America. And I believe, like, knowing quite a bit about Germany now and the culture, I believe it's extremely clean and safe. So why does nobody drink it? That's so weird to me. I drink tap water all the time. It's the only water I do drink. You know, like, I don't buy any other water. Sometimes I'll, you know, the most refrigerators here have a water dispenser, and that water is like tap water that's been filtered. So now that I have one of those fridges, I usually get that, which is like filtered tap water. But why would you not drink it?
That's true. That's very true. Tap water here is delicious, especially in Slovenia. There's no need to buy, filtered water or have a filter. You literally just drink tap and you're fine.
Same with America. Unless you live in, like, Flint, Michigan, or something. Gary, Indiana. Some places I understand, and I know that, obviously I know, there have been incidents in the United States, and there are certain cities where whatever's happening there, it's going to hell, and their tap water is contaminated. I know that. But for 99% of us, drinking the tap water is totally fine. Totally fine. I've been doing it my whole life. I've lived in 3 different states. I drink the tap water straight out of the garden hose all my life growing up. I turned out fine. Right? I turned out fine.
When I first visited the States in 2012, I didn't even know how badly water will be tasting. I was in South Carolina.
Now, how it tastes, I don't know, because it's all that I do know. Does that make sense? Tap water does have a taste. It tastes like tap water. I like it.
Everybody was telling me to just why are you drinking tap water, you crazy European? That so many Europeans
Someone said that to her? I'm so confused. I'm confused.
water will be tasting. I was in South Carolina. Everybody was telling me to just why are you drinking tap water, you crazy European?
But I thought you just said the Europeans don't drink tap water. They call it toilet water. Here in America, we do drink tap water. I'm confused. Who the hell was saying that? That's the most, posh thing I've ever heard. I've said that word twice now, but why are you drinking tap water? That person, I don't know. Because it's water? I don't, whatever. And there are plenty of countries where drinking the tap water is a bad idea. Bad idea. Like, you will get sick. America is not one of those countries. With the exception of maybe some places, I don't know.
That so many Europeans love
We need to move on past the tap water. I think I've said everything you could say about
hot
it.
dogs.
What was it? That so many Europeans love hot dogs.
Do we? I always thought that was like a American thing. I thought it was like a, New York City has a lot of vendors where you can buy a hot dog.
I don't like hot dogs.
I don't know why I said it like hot dog. Your Euro bathrooms are too small, as are some of your elevators.
These things were built for European-sized people, not American-sized people. You're too big. It's not that they're too small.
So yeah, apparently European bathrooms are too small and our elevators are too small. Putting mayo on bread or hot dogs or gasp French fries to most Americans is rather gross, and salted candies such as black licorice makes most Americans.
This person also seems rather posh. I'm gonna make sure I'm saying that word. Like, I've never said that word so many times in my life. I'm gonna make sure it means what I think it means. Yeah. To me, it means like, like uppity. Like, yes, oh, you put mayonnaise on your hot dogs. Ew. Now, I personally don't do that because I don't like mayonnaise or hot dogs. But I don't think that's weird at all. So I don't know what this person's talking about. I have seen mayonnaise on French fries. I'm sure people put it on their hot dogs. I don't think anyone cares. Now, I do agree black licorice makes me gag.
Gag. Europeans dress up better on airplanes, trains, etc., whereas too many Americans dress like slobs.
I think Europeans dress up better in general, not just on airplanes. Like, I think that they are just more... Americans dress more casually in general, like in sports. I'm wearing basketball shorts right now.
I didn't know that's a European thing. I also didn't know that people dress up nicely for airplane.
Yeah, I think that's a stupid thing to say, to be honest. They're not dressing up for the airplane. They're dressing up because they dress up. That's just how they dress.
Never. I mean, if I'm gonna sit there for 11 hours, you bet your sweet ass I'm gonna look like a hobo. Europeans smoke a lot. I mean, a lot.
I believe that one.
That is very true. That was a very big shocker for me when I first moved to the States, or first when I visited in 2012. Not a lot of...
It is weird, isn't it? People still do smoke over here in America. Absolutely, some people smoke. It's not like you see a smoker. I saw a video I'll never forget. I reacted to some list a few months ago, and it was like, maybe consider not smoking over here in America because people will look at you and scoff at you, and it's like, no, absolutely false. There are plenty of people who smoke. Just not compared to Europe. I bet Europe has 3 times as many from what I've seen. And that's weird, isn't it? Because in most ways, Europe is more health conscious as far as healthy eating and stuff. But when it comes to smoking, they're like, meh. Meh. It's funny. Is it? Is it not? I think it is. And I have nothing against smoking. I don't care. Smoke it up. You know what I mean? I just think it's interesting.
People smoke on the street or smoke while walking. Here it's a thing. Closing and opening times for restaurants are a bit different. We don't open as late as some Europeans do. That is also something that I've noticed, yeah. For example, when it comes to clubs, usually they stay open until 3, 4 a.m., sometimes even 7 a.m. And in America, everything closes down at 2.
No, not true. I guess she amended that right there by saying in California, which I see. I recognize that. Yeah, that I didn't even know that about California. You know, there's 50 states, a bunch of different laws. Apparently, in some states they close at 2. California, Colorado, Connecticut. Okay. I've never been to anywhere who does that. They usually stay open till 3 or 4, and some might stay open all night long.
2. One difference though, after 9 p.m., you cannot buy liquor anywhere. It's
Where? What are we talking about? We're not talking about America. At least, not where I've been. You absolutely can buy liquor at 2 a.m.
prohibited by law. You can only drink and get alcohol in the bar. Traveling from one country to another
I think she was talking about somewhere in Europe.
in the European Union is almost like driving from one state to another state in the US.
Yes. Yeah.
Those
That
that
makes
are
sense.
in the Schengen zone, we don't have to have passports.
Really? I've never heard that term. That's interesting. The Schengen zone. Schengen area. I've never heard that term. That's kind of fascinating. So these are the countries that you're allowed to freely, freedom of movement. You're allowed to move between them. They're EU countries. Oh, I see that, even some non-EU countries are included. And there's some EU or some candidate countries. Okay, cool.
Technically, I mean, you still have to have it on you and, ID yourself at most borders. They check your ID, especially now, especially after everything that happened.
Really? That's unfortunate. I'm not going to lie. That's unfortunate, in my opinion. That would be a really... I'm not saying it's the same, because obviously, those are different countries. So that does make more sense. I still do think that's sad. Like, I think that the freedom of movement, I mean, that's your guys' thing, freedom of movement. I don't think it should be impeded by being stopped to, show your papers. I don't. So I think that's unfortunate. But what I was going to say is, if that ever happened over here in America, where traveling between different states, you had to stop and show your papers, I think that would be like a sign of, that would be really bad, basically. Like if in my lifetime that ever happens, and I'm not saying that's the same as over there in Europe. I already said that, but I want to reiterate that because, you guys have a collection of different countries. Over here in America, it's one country. Well, the United States of America is one country. So that would be really dystopian if you had to show your papers. But I could see that happening. That's the scary thing. I could see that happening one day, and that would be so sad.
This year, your electrical outlets are different, making it impossible for Americans with laptop, tablet, and desktop computers to recharge without a Euro-style adapter.
I am sorry for sounding, rude, but no shit. You didn't know that before you went to Europe? I've never been to Europe, and I know that. I'm looking around because I know I have one of those adapters somewhere. Duh.
Dear Ernest, you will be shocked to find that not entire Europe has the same
Well, that too.
electrical outlet. Most Euro nations do not have tipping, which is nice, but feels strange to Americans. I do believe that's what I also mentioned in
I think it would feel great.
my previous videos. Yeah, we are paid hourly, usually. How vastly superior Euro bakeries and pastry
man.
shops are compared to most American bakeries.
Hell yeah. I would love to have some European bakeries. Pastries, you know, it's whatever. I love bread. Pastries, whatever. But I would love to have some just freshly baked bread available to me. I mean, there are some, but they're few and far between.
I think that's true, yeah. What I did miss the most in the US was quality bread that doesn't have sugar in it. The fact that McDonald's and Burger King fast food costs more in Europe than in the US. We don't get that. It's not even healthy food. Fast food
Does it cost more?
here is not a cheap way to eat. You can get a lot cheaper food in, you know, in restaurants.
What? Is that true? I mean, this is like, you know, I can't.
Not
read
even
this.
healthy food.
Big Mac, €2. That's pretty cheap. How are you gonna get a burger for less than €2?
Fast food here is not a cheap way to eat. You can get a lot
Yeah, I mean, these burgers are $7.
cheaper food in, you know, in restaurants. That's why a lot of people treat it as just, you know, a thing here and there, not as a cheap lifestyle.
You guys gotta help me out here. To me, that sounds wrong. I know that's stupid coming from like an American. I don't live in Europe, so I don't know. But that just seems wrong. Of course, McDonald's has to be cheaper than a restaurant. Why would anyone eat there if it was not cheaper than a restaurant? I mean, yeah, it's fast. Depends what you buy, I will say. Some people go to McDonald's and just, like some people I know, they just buy like the most expensive combo without even looking at the price. And I always think that's funny because I'm like, I'm here to buy some cheap crap, you know, and I buy like some things off the dollar menu or whatever. You know, I get lunch for like $4 or $5 at McDonald's. That's cheap. That's pretty cheap. But there are some combos that are like $10. Sure, okay. You would still struggle to get an entree and a drink at a restaurant for less than $10.
Yes, that's about it. Of
But maybe in Europe it's different, you know, maybe.
course, the list goes on and on and on and on and on, and I have found a lot of other examples and thoughts and opinions and comments, but if I included all of them, this video would probably be 7 hours long.
Well, I managed to react to her 10-minute video and turn it into, my video is 33 minutes. Holy mother. Damn. I had a lot to say there, didn't I? Europeans think 100 kilometers. What the hell is a kilometer? Sorry, I had to do that again. 100 kilometer is a long distance. North Americans think 100 years is a long time. Wow, that was really deep. Ketchup on pizza is almost illegal in Italy. Good to hear. Good to hear. But this comment right here, wow. That's deep. Okay. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Go check out her channel. That was a really great video. Goodbye.